I was feeling anxious, fearful, and excited. I was like, this might be the best thing I've done. And at the same time, like, shoot, how long can we last? How much savings? How much liquidity do I have? Whether you're in your 20s, 40s, 60s, you should be ready at some point to let go of that job or to be let go at a job. Sometimes you have to value yourself and your well-being way more than that paycheck. But of course, I'm not saying you should not have a plan. I'm just saying there's no such thing like job security. Why would I quit my job in my late 40s with a big mortgage, a big six-figure lifestyle, and big responsibility? Kids going to college soon. Okay, come on, let me tell you how it all happened. I'm coming with good news and bad news. For me, really, not for you. I decided I could not work another day. I quit my job. So here I am, jobless, with nothing but time on my hands right now. I work from home, so I just sent the notes and had the conversation and say, okay, this is it. Close down my computer and never open it again. So I shut down the computer because I was literally sick. For real, I was actually sick. And I had not given myself time to even take care of myself physically and mentally. So when I shut down my computer, I just called the doctor, made an appointment. I needed new glasses. I had to go see an eye doctor, like things that I've been pushing off just because I was so like drained. I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. I've seen those videos before and I was looking for my time to quit my job or to just retire. But it is not as glamorous as it sounds or as it looks like on social media. It really wasn't planned like that, because I know I've been coming here talking about planning for retirement and financial independence, but I had given myself up to the end of this year to retire from my 9-to-5 job. But it happens that, what do you do really? What do you do when your job literally makes you sick? When you just can't take one more day at work? I just knew it was time to let go. So this was not an easy process. I had cold sweat thinking about, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the end. Because when you build up a six-figure lifestyle with those paychecks that come consistently, it is a bit difficult to just get up one day and let go and say enough. Whether you quit, were laid off, or fired from your job, it can be an emotional roller coaster, because we are literally programmed for a W-2. We are literally programmed for a job, J-O-B. How did I walk through that emotional roller coaster? The first thing really is to acknowledge your feelings and give yourself that space to feel. I will not lie, I was scared, I was having cold sweats, but I just want to share that it is not easy. It's not glamorous. It's like your safety net is gone. It's like you're just free falling with nothing to stop your fall. So it can be a very mental, emotional, difficult thing, and it's not something to take lightly. At the same time, it felt like a heavy burden fell off me, because I could only imagine the gift of time that I just received by just letting go of that job. The best thing for me was that over the last couple of years, especially last year, I knew that I was just done with the 9-to-5 lifestyle. I had no plans. That was just my prayer, and I started praying that prayer all the time. I started asking God, it's time for me to get out. So give me peace about this and just show me what's next. I've been telling my friends, I've been telling my family, listen, 2025 is the year for me. I'm retiring next year. And I started working aggressively on my retirement plan. Retirement in terms of my career, because I was looking to focus on my passion. And I started aggressively working on building sources of income that would sustain me once I quit my 9 to 5. So even though I told everybody 2025 was going to be the year I quit my job, I would still catch myself thinking, geez, those benefits. Oh, life insurance. Oh, health insurance. The 401k. Like, I would just look at my employer's match on my 401k and that would be like, shoot, I can't lose this money. That's a lot of money. Not my contribution, my employer's contribution. And all those things kept coming back and making me feel like, what about I push it another year? What about we make it 2026? Or what about we make it by the time I'm 50, I should quit the job, because now I'm 47 and now my goal was always to retire before I am 50. So I'm like, what about we push it? I will be saying I want to retire 2025, but I will be thinking, okay, those benefits are way too good to just let go. And with everything that happened, I had to leave my job suddenly. I just had to say, okay, that's it, and just call it off. And I feel like if all the circumstances that led to me feeling even sick about my job and just exhausted and drained, if all of that had not happened, I might still be pushing my retirement date to a couple of years down the line. So I feel like sometimes God will push you into your purpose. I'm not sure where I'm headed yet. From at that moment, I think I felt like if this had not happened, I don't think I would have easily quit this job, because conditions were good, benefits were good. The job could be very stressful. Though I was mentally done with the whole thing, I just knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do in my life. I still felt like we need this. We need to pay the bills. We need to have health insurance. We have kids going to college. I still felt like I needed that, and I was not going to be ready to let it go soon. Over the weekend, while I was pondering on should I really let go, I went to church on Sunday. Before I went to church, I prayed this prayer. I said, God, give me peace about this. Speak to my heart, speak to me. So by the time I leave the service, I should have peace about this decision. And God have mercy, the service was all about change. And the preaching was about transitioning, changing. So those are just the things that gave me peace about the whole situation. I just gave myself grace and say, okay, I'll take this week to just relax. After acknowledging my feelings about this very difficult life event, the next thing I think I started thinking about was the immediate necessity. So I decided to not jump into anything right after. Again, I was not totally unprepared because I was already planning my exit, but because it was so sudden, I did not have everything in place yet. So I had to go back. Like, I just started looking at my accounts, my savings, my liquidity, all the money available right now, and our investment, how much we have coming in that can support our 6-figure lifestyle with no job. So you have to understand your financial situation. And I'm so glad that's one of the things I've been aggressively working on. The main thing that got me concerned was health insurance. Okay, how much longer do we have health insurance? And then I started thinking about a budget. Like, we have a budget, so I know our expenses are quite high. If you have a 6-figure lifestyle, you're going to live through your savings. That's going to go by very, very fast. I didn't think I was going to be able to think straight and make good decisions. So I didn't want to make any decision. I didn't want to make any commitments of any form right when I'm still not sure what's going on or not sure what I'm feeling. Because I just had feelings like I was anxious, a little bit of panic. At the same time, I also had this feeling of relief, joy. Like, I was so happy, excited for the future. I was like, Judy, imagine what you can do now if you apply yourself to do all these things that you've been planning to do, but you never had time to do. So it was just like a long list of emotions, and you need to take a few days, if not weeks, to just deal with these emotions. So I think the next thing that I immediately started thinking about, okay, I need to deal with my emotions. I need to assess my finances and the practicalities. How we going to survive? How can we adjust our budget? How much savings do we have? How much income do we have coming from other sources? Things like that. And I started also thinking, what's next? What's next really? And one thing is for sure, I didn't want to think about getting another job. I wrote off looking for another job because I was already in the process of retiring, right? So I didn't want to make looking for another job an option. So I decided I need to take control of this situation. This is God pushing me into my purpose. This is God unleashing my purpose, because on my own, I may not have made that decision now, but God knows why it had to happen the way it happened. I have peace about the decisions I made, and I should be ready to step into the purpose that I already knew I wanted to get into, but I was pushing it to a specific date later in time. So I just had to take control and say, no, forget looking for another job. We're going to work on our passion. We're going to work on these things that we've been putting off for so long. I don't think it's a decision that I actually made, because I try not to make a decision in this phase, but it just felt right. It just felt like this is it. This is time to step up. When life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. So it's time for me to set up that lemonade stand. The next phase for me first is to make the action plan for where do we go from here. I don't know if anybody can relate to this process. What the devil meant for evil, God meant it for good. You have a situation, you have something bad happening in your life, and you might feel like that's the end of the world, but it might just be the catalyst for the best thing ever in your life. Maybe this is it. So sometimes you have to seize the opportunities as they come. And to me, this is an opportunity to believe in myself. This is an opportunity to trust myself and go about doing something great in my life. I guess the first thing is you're going to be seeing me a bit more often because I only have time now on my hands. And one of my goals is going to be a bit more serious with my YouTube journey. And I have all these projects around my house. Oh my goodness. Like this office. I've been meaning to set up my office, but never had the time or the chance to do it. So I'll be sharing all those projects now that hopefully I'll be able to complete around my house, and other projects that I'll be undertaking as part of my next step. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.